Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Self-Taught. I am your host Becky Onyango and I'm very happy that you've been able to take your time to tune in for the topic of today. So we're going to delve further into the topic of insurance. Now there are two types of insurances that you should consider when it comes to the health insurance. And as mentioned in one of the previous videos that I did on the student visa application process, you would need to present a type of health insurance in order for you to be given the student German visa. So this would be the travel health insurance, and this you can basically get from one of your local health insurance providers in your home country. So it's best to look up what options you have locally and go to talk to one of the representatives in one of the insurance providers. Then they'll be able to provide you a policy where you know how much premium you need to pay and for how long. Best to take a policy that would be like 1 month. It's just a travel insurance, so it shouldn't be for long. And for example, in my case, I took out a 1 month insurance policy, and with a total sum amount of around 1,000 euro. That means that in case there's a situation whereby I would need to be covered medically wise, then they could only cover up to 1,000 euro. But you should also, further discuss your options with your local health insurance provider to know what they could cover while you're abroad. Then this would be necessary for you to acquire your student visa, and also upon arrival in Germany, before you get the paperwork done and everything set up, you do need health insurance during that time, because everything is not just done in one day. Then the next, rather the second type of student health insurance you should consider is the one that is mandatory as per the German laws. So with the student health insurance, you can either opt to go for the private or the public health insurance. Most of the time they do recommend going for the public health insurance, simply because once you switch to the private, it might not be so easy to switch back to public. But of course there are pros and cons of picking out what type of insurance to go for. Now, in order to know which kind of insurance provider to go for, you can go to one of the websites such as Krankenkasse Deutschland or even Check24 to compare what insurance providers offer, and you can see what offers they have. Then from there you can also physically approach one of the insurance providers and further talk about the options that they do provide. Now, with the public health insurance, you would typically be covered in several treatment categories, even including aesthetic. It just depends to what level, like even dental treatment and all that. And to present the insurance card, and everything else is done, because everything is paid for by the insurance company, of course, if you do pay your premiums monthly. On the other hand, with the private health insurance, you might need to pay out of your pocket and then later on present the receipt or the invoice of the payment that you did to the insurance company in order for them to reimburse back the money. So this might be a bit disadvantageous in the fact that if you don't have money at hand by that time, you might not be able to get the kind of treatment that you might need at that particular time. And then on the other hand, of course, with the public health insurance system, as you grow older, the premiums does increase. On the other hand, with the private health insurance, they normally consider factors like your age and the current health condition. Now, we'll just simply have a look at the Krankenkasse Deutschland website in order to see how you can navigate on the website and just figure out how to choose the insurance providers that would best suit your needs. So when you type in krankenkassen.de, this is the home page that would come up. Then you can simply right click and translate the page to English. Then from here you can see there's the statutory health insurance, which is the public, and then the private health insurance. So from there you can just quickly go to health insurance comparison, and then in this place then you can fill out according to your status. So if you're a student, then which state in Germany you're in, for example in Berlin, and then monthly gross income. let's put it at, say, 0. But of course, if it's 400, 700, 1,000, whatever income it is, you can write it down. So this is the minimum. Then you can see the options that it brings up. So once you've been able to narrow it down, you can then approach one of the companies and discuss further your options. You can go back then also look at the private health insurance comparison. So you can see the message on top here. Choosing the private health insurance is usually a big decision because medical costs in Germany are pretty high. So you definitely need a health insurance provider, which should always be very reliable. And you can always consult with the individual private insurance companies. So these are just some of them. So as you've seen in the website, it's pretty easy to navigate, but of course it's always better to just make a more informed decision to personally approach the insurance providers and see what would work best for you. Of course, after you've already narrowed down which insurance provider you could possibly take up insurance with. Without further ado, thank you so much for tuning in for today. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment down below and also give this video a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel and click on the notification bell and share the video as much as you can. Till next time, goodbye and take care.